Hey y'all, it's Gina. I am back in the kitchen today with the beans. The beans are cooked all the way through. I'm going to show you what they look like. That is what cooked beans look like. You know, they look nothing like the ones we started off with. I'm making it into a pan of bean soup. So I'll walk you through what I'm putting in there. In this colander, I've got about 3 decent sized potatoes, 4 decent sized potatoes that I'm using. Underneath my potatoes, I have some onions, the last onion in the bag. And underneath that, I have the last little bitty inner pieces of celery that were in the whole stalk. So, somehow I'm going to have to figure out groceries. But not today. Not today. I'm not worried about it. I got food. I can cook around the things I don't have, which is fine. Done that many times. Didn't have any fresh carrots, so we're using carrots out of the can. These came from the food pantry. The beans and the potatoes all came from food pantry, so it's kind of a food pantry type meal. So at least we've got some vegetables in there with our beans. They'll cook down. They'll make a really good soup, bean soup. I've also have, I think 3 or 4 pieces, little pieces, maybe 3 pieces of ham on here that I've just chopped. I've just diced them up. I had some laid out for later in the week so I can make something else with ham. Probably scalloped potatoes with ham a little later in the week. And so I'm going to use part of the ham in the bean soup to give it some more protein in there and some flavor. I'm using it partially for flavor. Also, I'm going to put in my standard black pepper. I've got onion powder, garlic powder, and in this cute little countertop, I still have this out on my countertop, this little, I can't even think, it's like a little jar that I use, here at the holidays, put cute stuff in, but it's got some salt in there, and I'm going to use some salt in there as well, because the beans are good and soft, so, it's fine to add in salt as to your liking. Yes, the ham's got some salt, but if y'all watch enough of my videos, you know that I like my salt. Probably a little too much. Make sure your beans at this point have plenty of water. I did dump in the juice from the carrots in there as well. So that did add to the water level in there. I've got it on about medium heat. And I'm just trying to add a little spice to stuff at this point. And really, you could add just about any seasoning you want to this particular recipe. This one's pretty easy to get, decent results with whatever you like. That thing don't want to work. So we're going to sit here and do it this way. The hard way. The slow way. But, I've seen people use tomatoes, which is good in there too. I've had it with tomatoes. Like I said, I can cook around a lot of stuff. I always keep onion powder, so if I don't have onions in the house, I'll just use onion powder. And sometimes I'm lucky enough to have minced onions, the dehydrated ones. So I can always cook around that. That's not the end of the world for me to not have whatever it is in the house. I'm not complaining because I always have ways. Now, the celery, if something calls for celery right now, I don't have celery salt or celery seed in my house. That's fine. I'll figure it out, but I'm not worried about not having celery. Oh, it's not the end of the world. I've cooked many a time without stuff that the recipe calls for. And this is actually like a homemade recipe, so it's just like whatever you like. If you want to go Italian and add basil and oregano and all that stuff is good, would be good in there as well, especially with tomatoes and stuff. But anyway, I was just showing you how I turn a pot of or a bag of dried beans into a pot of bean soup. Thanks y'all for tuning in today. God bless you all and Merry Christmas.